welcome back. Well, we have the Republican Club ladies here. We have Carol Blanchard and Pat Mycone. Well, welcome both of you. How are you?
Oh, we're great,
Great,
Carol.
thank you.
Look at how festive and patriotic, all in one. I love it. That is awesome. Well, thank you for coming. I know you guys have an event coming up, but before we get into the event itself, let's talk a little bit about the Republican Club.
Yeah.
So who would like to start? Just tell me a little bit about it as a whole.
Yeah, well, the Republican Club in Laguna Woods has been around for many years, 40, 50, at least 20, 30 years. And Carol has been the Republican president for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And I've now been the newly elected president. And Carol will be passing the gavel to me.
Oh, we're going to do it right here on air. It is official.
Thank you.
It is official.
Thank
All
you.
right.
And Carol is going to be my mentor. So our goals in Laguna Woods are many. One of the main things is we want to promote our Republican values. We want to ensure that we preserve and protect our Constitution of the United States and protect our freedoms and keep our freedoms.
Right.
So much of it is beginning to erode over the years. But especially in California, Lisa, California is now a one-party state. Mm-hmm. It is controlled by a Democratic the party. So our goal is especially to work hard to get Republican candidates elected locally, nationally, and especially in the state.
Okay.
So we do want to protect and preserve that.
Okay, well that's awesome. And you know, I know you have lots of members. What is it? Well over 300 the last time I think we were talking.
360 right now.
360. So that's a lot. But there's a lot of, there's a lot of Republicans here in the community that maybe don't know about you. So, I'm glad that you're here to tell everybody about what you do. Now, other than the goals that you mentioned, what are some things that you want to do here in the village?
Well, what we want to do is we want to increase our membership. We want to increase voter registration and involvement of our members. Many of our members, some of them have been discouraged over the last couple of years with what's happening in the national elections and locally. So we want to encourage them to keep hopeful and that we can't do anything unless they come out and participate in the process.
Right.
So right now we have great speakers. Barbara Stone is coming in January, and she's been Woman of the Year, National Republican Woman of the Year, has been involved in politics over many years, and she'll be talking about insights into what's happening in 2020 as we gear up for the 2020 election and beyond.
Okay, so now we're talking about the 2022 election or 2024?
2022.
2022.
Right now.
Okay,
we're
good.
We're going to take it a step at a time, right?
Yeah, well, no, I would agree with that. Now, so let's just talk about the event itself. It's January 7th.
Yes.
And you said you have Barbara Shell Stone.
Yes.
Now, you said she's Woman of the Year. What is kind of some of her, like, let's talk about some of the things that she's done. So she was the board of trustees at Rio Hondo Community College.
Yes.
And then what are some other things that she's done?
Well, she was professor of political science at Cal State Fullerton for 25 years.
Okay.
And now she remains active. She continues to be active in local community and political activities. She speaks all over the state for our Republican women. And she's inspiring, and she has a great sense of humor, and she just is a very positive, confident speaker.
That's awesome. That's good. Now, let's have you kind of tell me a little bit about what you might miss being the president.
Well, this year has been very challenging for everybody who lives here, and several people have had to resign due to health, due to how big the jobs really are.
Yeah.
But we have found wonderful replacements, and I think people really have come forward to get involved and join and do what they can to help the Republican Party this year.
Okay.
We're very excited about so many members joining.
That is great. That is great. Now, as you mentioned, 2022 is going to be a big focus, I'm sure, on both parties because we've had a lot of things that have happened, like you mentioned, over the course of the last several years. And some people are really not very happy or even, like you said, hopeful, which I think is important for both parties because many people are discouraged.
Yes.
And I think that what you're talking about, having hope, what are some things that you would like to instill in people just in general about hope and what we can look forward to for the new years?
As we look at history, I love history. I'm a student of history. And you look back at what President Washington, George Washington, endured this Christmas.
Yeah.
On Christmas Eve, they crossed the Delaware. Some of them didn't have shoes on. Mm-hmm. They got through that. Abraham Lincoln, he freed the slaves. So the Republican Party, we've been involved. Look at World War II. We just celebrated Pearl Harbor Day.
Right.
80 years of Pearl Harbor. My sister was born 5 days before Pearl Harbor was born. So we've gotten through that. We have to keep hopeful that we can do this if we stick together and remain true to our principles of our freedoms and the Constitution. Low taxes.
Yeah, well, that would be, yes, all of the above.
Yes.
Now, one last thing. Let's talk a little bit about the event again, because I know that you have to reserve your seats, right? Or reserve your opportunity. How does that work?
We have a wonderful luncheon.
Okay.
And we start at 11. We have candidates that are running for office, Republican candidates. We invite them to come and speak. And then after lunch, we have our speaker, and we have something else going on in our club. We've been proud to assist a group called Operation Interdependence.
Okay.
And we've done this for 20 years. And we collect all kinds of gifts for our military: shampoo, toothbrushes, toothpaste, decks of cards, and powdered coffee. And we send these overseas.
Okay.
Most items fit into a quart-size baggie. And with people not traveling today, we actually buy wholesale from a local hotel.
Okay.
But we have a drawing, and people donate, and half of the drawing goes to our Operation Interdependence.
Okay.
We have holiday season. Our chairman, Joe and Doris Pospachal, remind us with gratitude to remember those that have served in our country.
Right.
And at this time of year, we ask our members to stop, pause, and say a little prayer for their well-being and thank you for their actions. We will be sending over 20,000 kits over this last few years, and we also have a drive-through every 2 months or so, and people in the village are so generous and donate all these toiletries, and our chairman send this overseas. So we're very proud of that.
And you've been doing that for years, and you're still doing it. And I think it just should continue, because they love getting those care packages, I'm sure.
Right.
Yes,
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you both so much. I appreciate you being here. Congratulations to you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, Lisa.
You carry
we look
that-
forward to a new year.
Carry that gavel proud.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And if you want more information about the event or the Republican Club, there is a phone number that you can call. Please go ahead and give that a call. And you can also reach the Republican Club's website information through lagunawoodsvillage.com. We'll be right back.